whether on second you are going to sign the agreement, because the last time we met, you had agreed, and there was an agreement that had been drafted, and I believe your advocate, actually I read it out to you. You were supposed to make some changes here and there, and that I left to your advocates to do. Where any party or an advocate feels probably the agreement or some clauses are vague, it's your duty to consult your client and to come up with an agreement that will stand the test of time. So I want to confirm, or I need a confirmation from, we start with the appellant. Oh yes, I do not see Professor. Or are you able to call for us either Meso or Professor?
Let me try and reach Mr. Gada. It's easier to get Mr. Gada.
Okay.
Give me a minute, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Madam Mediator.
Yes, what do you have to say?
To pass our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved. We also wish to wish a quick recovery to those who are injured in this senseless and unfortunate violence. Violence has got no place in the resolution of a problem such as this. So we condemn in the strongest terms possible those who planned, those who events of Saturday. And the only way to ensure in their evil plans is to proceed where possible with this mediation exercise, because otherwise then they will have succeeded. They will have succeeded in their evil machinations. So it is extremely unfortunate. We condemn it in the strongest terms possible. My clients have always been willing to find a peaceful solution to this problem. And we have committed ourselves to this process. So of myself and of my clients. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Condolences to the family. It's also a shock to us and to my clients. Some of them are affected because those events happened to members of their families. As we stand today, they are really ready to continue with this mediation process. However, they have a few concerns that they feel because of what is happening on the ground, they'll like it to, for them themselves to be on the safe side, is that a few changes are to be made, and of most important is on the issue of title. They are not willing to recognize the title that is handed to the estate of Sangongale Chame, and the mode of distribution of the land will like it to be subjected to adjudication.
Rogers.
Yes.
Kindly, I think my call had dropped.
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here, Madam Mediator.
Okay, go ahead. What's your reaction?
This level of these mediations, I have left parties to speak. So Mr. Rale is present. He can voice any concerns he has.
Okay, fine. No problem.
With the pieces that we have already forwarded with its own briefs and coordinates. That's only our issue. We don't have any other issue. We are willing to continue with the mediation to the end. Thank you.
My clients are ready to sign the agreement on Friday, as agreed, save for the minor changes that we're making. But I want to say this. Chairman of Makai Clan, Andrew Stephen Zangu, a retired assistant chief, age 83, was actually picked from his home on Saturday at 10. Was picked from his home and taken to the Traco at the gate. That is where he was killed, and the efforts by the son to contact the police did not bear any fruit. In fact, he was killed 1 hour later and set at rest. So this is someone who was in his home. As for Chupingala, the chairman of Madeja Clan, he was called by one of the members. He was called by one of the members, and he was asked to go to the Ketraco where they were to meet, and later on he was handed over to the killers. Guys who had pangas, and they cut in very many pieces. This is the person who was also involved in the mediation. Chairman of Magundu Clan and the secretary, by the grace of God, they were able to escape. So many of my clients were attacked. Some suffered very serious injuries. They were hospital. But that notwithstanding, we are ready to sign this agreement. The minor changes will be made. What I want to say is that apparently the calling off of this meeting, an email was already sent at 8 p.m. and it's only my clients who are not informed. The police were not willing to help. My clients have informed me that they called the police and they refused to come until one of them called the county CCRO in Kilifi. That is when help came late, around 5. So you can imagine someone is killed at 11 at that place, and the police only came at 5, just let the body to Post General Hospital Machar. This is unfortunate. I think we should believe in the rule of law. Anyone who has a claim should present it to court and have it addressed. On Friday, when we had a similar session, I came in late. I had an advocate read my brief, but then he was told it for me, and I joined. And later on, I was told there are some people who are saying that no one should go to the ground, and yet this was a session between the 3 clans and Santuagana. So there are people who are opposed to the agreement that the 3 clans have with Santuagana, when they are supposed to negotiate their own agreement with Santuagana, who has a title. At the moment, my clients are being threatened not to record statements. But I want to assure you that you can kill the officials of the 3 clans, but you will not be able to kill all the members. At the end of the day, they have their land according to the traditional gender boundaries. They know their land. So this is a good process. I'm aware there is another member, an official of the 3 clans, who was also killed by the name of William Gandhi. Was killed because of this land. He was also a leader. for since September, we've been requesting that the file to be demarried, but they refused. It's only yesterday that file was forwarded. And this killing was done in such a similar one, the way the two gentlemen have died. There was an inquest. There was interference in the inquest, and the file was closed. But in July this year, justice began to the persons who should be arrested and charged with the killing of William Knight. So I don't want to say much. This don't kill my clients. My clients who took Sangwangala to court, and they have an agreement with Sangwangala. No one has filed a case against my clients, and my clients don't have a title. All that they are saying is we are members of the three clans, Mabeja, Makai, and Mudungu, and Sangwangala has a title, initially 7,100 acres, and we want to get title for the land that belongs to us. That is all. And they have no problem with Sangwangala. They have an agreement. They have an agreement that will pursue mediation. And that is the only agreement that you are saying to be about object this mediation. And that is the reason why they're coming on Friday to have the agreement signed. So please go through the court process, let the police do their work, let people be arrested, those who have committed crime, and face the truth. Let them be taken to due process of law. Don't kill my clients. Those ones planning to kill my clients, don't kill them. They are also fighting for their rights. I interacted a lot with Andrew Zang, which was 8 years. As for Chubingala, apparently he had a YouTube channel, he's a Gogo. I didn't know about it. I was actually told today that I was able to go that the only chairman of their respective clans fighting for the rights of their clan members. You don't have to kill them. The land is still there and it belongs to the clan.
Is there any other advocates that I've left out? If none, any party who wishes. Salama.
Majina mimi naitwa Hamisi Yawa.
Hamisi Yawa.
Ile land education ile ilikuwa ikiendelea mbele, hiyo ndio itasaidia wale kwa chama, kwa sababu kila mmoja atasimama mahali hapo. Hiyo iendelee kama vile ilikuwa. Ya tatu, kuliko pesa kiasi sasa kiasi. Tuko tayari tu sign mediation na tuko na imani na mediation.
But I condole with those who lost their lives and those who are recuperating. My lawyer my request is.
Are you able to put on your video?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
My request. There was recommendation or input from my lawyer from the draft that was approved. I don't know whether it has been taken or not, because I've not gotten the final draft. Now, as you are saying that we are coming on second to sign, we need to have the final draft for producer so that as we come to an agreement. Otherwise, I still feel that in the mediation, we have not concluded.
Yes.
My main issue also is about the titles that are to be recognized as they are, and the three clans, the way they are supposed to have their rights separated, despite the fact that there is a clause indicating that the person on the ground persists. We need to have this one very clear so that it does not bring confrontation let alone. So I need it enough. Thank you.
Say necessary that mediation is closed and that you're coming to sign on 2nd, because of course there are issues that have cropped up. It's like we've gone back to where we were on 18th in respect to the interested parties. So people will agree on the way forward, whether you really want to proceed or you want to go back to court. Who else wants to say something? Thank you very much, Mr. Kirabu, for your contribution.
Yes, may I say something, Madam Mediator?
Yes.
Last week, we raised our issues with paragraphs 3 of the second draft, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, paragraph 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11. For me and my clients, if those paragraphs are sufficiently addressed, then my clients will not have a problem with this consent. But we need to know and to see that those paragraphs are sufficiently addressed to comprehensively take care of the concerns raised by my clients, and I've also had some of the parties raising concerns with regard to those paragraphs. So if that is done, I don't know whether we can do that between now and Friday. I do not know. But it is important that those paragraphs, for me and for my clients, that those paragraphs. Thank you.
Mr. Abuja, you're done?
Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Osige.
Yes, Madam Mediator.
Yes, you were supposed to work on those.
I was supposed to work on those, Madam Mediator. I wish to apologize. By the time of starting your session, I was just disembarking from my flight to Nairobi. I'll try, if Mr. Duda is agreeable, I will purpose to see him today. We have a conversation with Mr. Onyango,
yes,
as we try to reduce the settlement agreement into a document that will be acceptable to all of them.
Yes.
So I don't know if Mr. Duda will be willing to accommodate me today. We try also talk to Mr. Onyango, who also had a few issues. Then hopefully by tomorrow morning we have the second draft for every parties to have a look at.
Yes. And
Mr. Duda, is that okay?
Mr. Wasige, do I understand you to mean that you are in Nairobi?
Yes, I've just gotten to Nairobi a few minutes ago.
Okay. I will be available if you want to come to my chambers or whichever place you want to meet me. I will be available up to 7 o'clock.
That's okay. Mr. Onyango, can we get you on phone? We try to finalize on this.
Yes, I thought I'd only rephrased, but it's okay. You can get me on phone.
Okay, thank you. Right,
Yes.
thank you.
My only concern is that is the impression that I've had from the interested parties. So I don't know whether that is taken, because if that is the position, I would wish to get a clarification from the mediator whether we can reach a partial settlement and then leave the interested parties to sort their issues out. Because yes, I don't know whether that can be possible.
Unfortunately, yeah, that is the predicament actually I'm having this afternoon, because it is a complete shift of position from where we left on 19, and the last time that we met on 9. That means whatever they have raised, that means shifting the ground completely. And a partial agreement can only be agreed or signed by all the parties. So if they are not, or if the parties are not going to agree, of course I'll do my report, and that is if parties are not ready to shift their grounds. We cannot sign that agreement. It cannot be called a partial agreement, because it is an agreement between all the parties save for one. Okay? And by that one saying that we are not agreeable to everybody else's position, then it means that cannot be an agreement. So we need to engage more. I don't know why the interested parties all of a sudden decided to shift ground. Yes, that is where we are. But that doesn't mean that you should stop. Mr. Wasike, just go ahead.
I will go ahead, Madam Mediator. Perhaps
Yes.
I will also include the term to say the interested parties represented by Mr. Rogers can pursue whatever it is they want to pursue from whatever forum. Because you've come this far, you already have dates in your hands. It's quite unfortunate. And the only thing you're all looking for is a title to whatever portion of land we claim. So if some of us decide to be unreasonable, Madam Mediator, it's only simple for the parts who are willing to settle. Let them settle. Then we just have one clause to accommodate Rogers and his clients. They can do whatever it is they want, because the far we've come, Madam Mediator, it's not really helpful to any of us to go back. Let the parties who have agreed, let them have their issue settled. If Rogers and his clients wish to pursue any other whatever, let them pursue whatever forum they wish. If you can just have that one clause to cover them, so that it can be signed by every extent. Thank you.
Madam Mediator, may I read the law for the benefit of us all? I'm reading the Mediation Rules 2022, Rule 35, Sub-Rule 5. And it reads as follows. A partial settlement agreement shall be adopted in the same way as a full settlement agreement, but the court shall at the time of adoption give appropriate directions regarding the execution of the partial settlement and the expeditious disposal of the issues that remain unresolved. And that goes, yes?
I get you as well.
Yes.
And, from where I sit, they are contending against the old title. Meaning, it's like they are rubbishing everything that we've been doing, right? Meaning, because they are part of this case, and if they're not willing to sign that agreement, then they are holding everyone at a ransom.
Sorry, okay, proceed.
Executing that partial agreement in their absence. You understand my point?
Yes.
Yeah, what we normally do when it is a partial agreement, it is an agreement agreeable to all the parties. And then all the parties are saying, we are not agreeable to this, so this can be determined by the court. So just put yourself in the court's shoes. You've taken this partial argument before the court. Only one party decides we are not signing it. Where does it leave the court? Where does it leave this one party?
Madam Mediator, if I may. Madam Mediator, if I may ask, since I represent an appellant, Mr. Ogada represents an appellant, Mr. Onyango's clients have a cross appeal. If we include terms in our settlement agreement to settle those appeals, what is left for the Court of Appeal to determine?
I think there will be nothing else, apart probably from the issues that the interested party, if the interested party is interested with whatever you've raised in your appeals and cross appeals, then where does it leave them?
Madam Mediator, on that ground, let me have a conversation with my seniors, Mr. Ondabu, Mr. Onyango, and Mr. Duda. We come up with a draft settlement agreement, and then perhaps we have it adopted, as simple as that. So that when we go to court, the principal parties in the case must have their way, surely. Because we cannot have 35 people simply holding everyone to ransom. It's unacceptable.
Yes.
It's unacceptable,
Madam Mediator. Mr. Wasike. That would be the alternative.
Thank you.
Madam Mediator, I'm looking at Form 14.
Yes.
Form 14 is a partial settlement agreement, and it is divided into two sections. The first part deals with the parties who have agreed to settle their dispute or differences. The second part deals with the parties who have disagreed and have agreed to refer to court identified issues. So that for those who have agreed, they will sign the first part. On identified legal issues, that part will be signed, the second part will be signed. So that we are not held at ransom for reasons which we don't understand. The question of title is a question which was established by the High Court. If you look at the judgment, there is a declaration. That judgment, to date, has not been set aside. And so for a party to come before you and tell you that it does not recognize that title, I think we are not being honest with ourselves. We are not being honest with ourselves. And before that title was recognized and acknowledged by the High Court, there was a report of the National Lands Commission in 2016. So some demands are, for lack of a better word, unreasonable, completely unreasonable. And I think this is one of them.
I really get you. What we do, just work on that agreement. And then I would propose that we have another meeting on 1st, a very short one, for 30 minutes. By that time, you would have shared the agreement to all the parties, okay? Then on that day, I'll give you the way forward. Is that okay?
That is much better. Thank you.
Can I say something, his clients? I think all along, we should be cautious about being divided. We have had this opportunity before. I have been the last holdout. My clients have been the last holdout in this settlement. And what do parties want? They all want to get the portions of land that they occupy, what they use. And that is what this settlement is giving, not just to the parties, but to including the ones who are not there. So whether you get the title from this so-called illegitimate title of Sangwa, or you get it through an adjudication, or you get it through a court order, you will have achieved what you want. Yes, so this presents us the fastest way to reach our destination. And we should think about that seriously. But I know there are some other parties creating stories and confusing the process. And that is what I would urge my colleague to look guard against. Yes, an advocate's work is to lead their clients. I have also been told the same thing is being told, and Mr. Kirabu can confess to that they have come to me and told me we don't want to recognize this title. Mr. Duda is my witness, and what I have said is that as long as it gives me a title, but if we are to go to court, that will be my position. But as we are doing a settlement, it confers me a right. So that is all I need. So I would urge my colleague to reconsider. He can reach